Alright, we are on the draw with Rug Delver, and I like this hand a lot. We have two Goyfs ready to go. Let's go to our turn. We have some disruption in Forked Bolt and potentially the Snapcaster Mage. Traverse provides lands, or we could theoretically just get a threat eventually. I believe I want to lead on this Misty without much of a doubt. The only other line would be Steam Vents tapped, but I do think it's the Misty here. Basic Swamp doesn't tell us much because there are plenty of black decks, and a good deal of them run at least one Basic Swamp. The only real decision here is, do I want to Traverse or not? I think I am going to Traverse. I'll grab a Breeding Pool and Traverse out a Forest. It's pretty unlikely that I'm going to be traversing for a threat, I think. At least anytime soon. And that Traverse grows Goyf, helps with Snapcaster Mage, and we don't have much better to do on this turn. So I think that's something I'd like to do. Plus the Swamp. Ooh, okay, we're probably playing against Monoblack Devotion. I was also thinking with Basic Swamp, maybe we're playing against Smallpox, because I think that's the most likely black deck to start on a Swamp. I think they run more basics than most. The Urborg actually gave me a little bit of a twinge of fear there because it almost confirmed that for me, but it looks more like they're on Monoblack Devotion. The benefit of getting the Traverse for a land right now against Smallpox would be if they Smallpox our land, we still have two. And if we didn't Traverse there, we wouldn't have a green source after a Smallpox resolved. So besides that, I do think that traversing there is a good idea. Yep, they're going to be gaining a lot of life. And it's unfortunate that that's not a Lightning Bolt. I might end up dismembering that. Fourth land drop is pretty welcome. How do we want to do this? Scalding Tarn Goyf? That seems pretty good. That way we could just not use the land if we don't want to. Fatal Push on the end step, that's fine. We may or may not end up dismembering that Aetherborn. I really don't want to. Do we let it run wild? They've pushed both Goyfs so far. Yeah, I think we just have to let it keep chipping away. Ooh, Liliana. That could be troublesome. Sure. That doesn't do anything. Let's get a Stomping Ground. Yeah. It's definitely a red source. Another Snapcaster Mage. So, what do we want to do here? This is a bit of a conundrum. I think I want to end up snap traversing at some point. The question is, how do we get there? We can dismember the Aetherborn. I need to put another sorcery in the graveyard for Snap Traverse to be any good, which means I need to use this Forked Bolt. Unfortunately, there's nothing good to Forked Bolt, and it's pretty unlikely, that anything good is going to show up. So I think we're just going to Forked Bolt at the Liliana, play the Steam Vents tapped, and dismember them for 2. Pay red, done. I do think I want to redirect it, because I feel like that's going to be more relevant than the damage to the face, and we'll end step. We can either dismember or Simic Charm that Aetherborn. The Simic Charm unfortunately lets it come back. Technically we can dismember and have Snap Dismember as an option. So I might go for that, even though Dismember Snap Dismember leaves us at 4 life. That only matters if we do need the dismember the second time. So I think this will be okay. At least I hope it'll be okay. That certainly feels awful. Fatal Push is a really good card. Kalitas, so we will almost certainly end up snap dismembering. Because I think that's the only way we get out of this. I can play Hoots and snap dismember, which is nice. It also means we can play Mandrills and just wait to see what they do before committing to snap dismember, which I like very much. So let's pick 5 cards to delve. It's not going to be dismember, and I think the sorcery is more valuable than having a creature or land in the graveyard. As far as Delirium goes, Snapcaster Mage only adds to that. So I believe that's how I want to delve. Forked Bolt is probably slightly better to flashback than Traverse, mainly because that is the slot of the sorcery we're leaving in the graveyard. So if we end up trying to flashback Traverse, we're going to have a heck of a time getting that Delirium online for it. They're probably swinging into that Mandrills. It's nice that they ticked up first so that they could do that, because now they won't be taking out the Snapcaster with Liliana. Of course, they could still absolutely blow us out here. Let's just tap like that for fun. There's no real... All we really have to do is tap blue for Snapcaster Mage and leave a land available for Dismember. There's not much of a way we can screw that up. Yup. That sure hurts. Go to us. Hopefully our opponent doesn't have anything. They only have 3 cards, so that's not bad. Another Aetherborn, sure. Okay, so we swing both at Liliana. They probably block the Mandrills. We bounce the Aetherborn. Liliana goes down. Something to that effect. If they block the Snapcaster Mage, we probably just snap Forked Bolt to finish off the Liliana. Yeah, I think I like that. So let's swing the team at the Planeswalker. We're waiting on our opponent. There we go. Beginning combat. Fantastic. Everybody at that. We need to deal with the card advantage outlet, and then we'll worry about the player who has 24 life. They also might not choose to block. There's the block we hoped for. Bounce it to their hand. Simic Term? Xmage, you there? Yep, fantastic. Green. Probably just the Steam Vents. Yeah. Bounce the Aetherborn. We're going to axe off the Liliana. Unfortunately, we just 2-for-1'd ourselves, and now it gets worse because they have a Fatal Push. But Liliana's still taking 2, and they Fatal Pushed a Snapcaster Mage. So I'm not exceedingly sad. We cannot snap Forked Bolt here. I believe we're just going to end step Thought Scour and probably end up Snapcaster Combat Trick during the next turn. I really would like to see a Lightning Bolt for that Aetherborn. Yup, all of that's fine. Scour into Lightning Bolt would be very appreciated. Geralf's Messenger, yep. Here come the real Devotion heavy hitters. Tarfire, okay. That turns on Delirium. Geralf's Messenger is probably just going to kill us. If we decide to block it, we're going to die. And if we don't, we die when it enters the battlefield. So we don't have an out. We could finish off Liliana. That doesn't do us much. I believe we're just dead here. And our opponent probably knows it. And if they don't know it, it's really unlikely we're going to come back. So I think we just want to scoop. Not show them any more cards. What's good against them? I'm inclined to say they're not going to have a lot of non-basics, but we did see some fetches there. Did we see fetches? I thought I saw a fetch. I don't remember. I could be thinking about the previous match I played. I want Mountain. I want Hunt Masters. Let's start with the easy stuff. I don't think I want any of those. Pyroclasm doesn't seem very good here. Blood Moon might not. Pillar seems excellent. Get some graveyard hate. EE actually might be pretty good. Yeah, I think that will be good. And I don't think I want Vapor Snag. EE could take out multiple 2-drops or go for the 3-drops, including Liliana, which could be excellent. I want all of the lightning bolts because that's what I was hoping to draw for quite a while that game. We can cut a number of Thought Scours. Let's start with just 2. Do I want to cut any of these? I could see cutting a Mandrills to go with trimming Scours. Yeah, that looks like what we're going to end up doing. 1 Mandrills. Let's cut the 3rd Scour, 2 cards. Is Disrupting Shoal any good? We didn't bring in too many non-blue cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 10, 14. I don't really like it with 14. And it's going to 2-for-1 us against a mid-rangey deck. Let's cut that. Possibly bring back a Thought Scour. Can I work the 4th Mandrills back in? Because I think this is going to get pretty grindy. I could cut Forked Bolt. Yeah, I like that. Not Traverse. You stay. Come back, Traverse. Forked Bolt goes. Doesn't seem very good against them. I like swapping Forked Bolt for Pillar because of the likes of Geralf's Messenger on the play again. We have Serum Visions, which makes this kind of a keep. And we also have Pillar, but beyond that we're not doing a lot. We do have 2 Visions. Let's keep it. I'm really digging for lands here. Neither of these produce mana. Serum Visions technically could help us, but I don't want to top Serum Visions instead of bottoming it and potentially grabbing a land. In the meantime, while we try to fix our mana, they're probably just going to pick our hand apart. Decks with ample amounts of discard are generally really good against us because we don't run too many threats, and we actually have quite a few bad top decks. They took our other Serum Visions, which actually seems pretty good. We don't have anything constructive to do. I'm not playing EE for 1, and I'm not burning their face, so we're just going to pass to them. Fortunately, we know all of the cards that they know of from our hand. So they do run fetches. I don't think that's actually a good reason to play Blood Moon, though. I'm going to bolt this. I'm pretty happy to see it die. Bolt. There we go. That one. Xmage is a little laggy right now, which is, of course, unfortunate. Scalding Tarn, fantastic. We can slam Mandrills, but then we are vulnerable to Liliana of the Veil, and I'm not super ecstatic to be vulnerable to Liliana of the Veil. They didn't do anything. I'm probably going to fetch something tapped because they have been fairly aggressive. Let's get a breeding pool. We still can't play Mandrills without holding up Denial, so I don't really want to do it. Leech-ridden Swamp. Okay, sure. There's Lily. We cannot Denial it favorably. Hopefully they... No, they're not going to take down. Why would they take down? We don't have a creature. So now we have to discard a card. And what will it be? I think Pillar. Pillar seems like the worst thing in our hand. It's only really good if they have a Geralf's Messenger. They discarded a Polluted Delta, according to the log. So that's going to allow us to play Mandrills with Denial up, which actually makes me kind of want to bolt them, redirect to Lily so that she can't minus and kill Mandrills. Yup. Oh, we drew another bolt. Well, that's okay. What do we want to leave in the graveyard? Probably just a Serum Visions. Sorceries are slightly harder to come by than lands in the graveyard for us. And we don't really need a Lightning Bolt in the graveyard for Snapcaster Mage when we have one right here. When they Lily again, what do we discard? I think it's going to be Huntmaster this time. We're pretty far from casting it, and outside of drawing multiple lands, it's not going to leave the hand. Damnation's going to get countered. There's no need to let that resolve. No thank you. And now we get to axe off Lily. Ooh, and we get to hold up Mana Leak. Axing off Liliana of the Veil and holding up Mana Leak are two of my very favorite things to do in this game. It's notable that we could have bolted Lily and then gone for 4 at the face to speed up our clock, but then we don't get to hold up Mana Leak. So drawing Mana Leak makes that a lot worse. EE is going to be a bit of a failsafe for us, I think, although it may not be coming down soon or at all. Liliana, the Last Hope. Ticks up to 4 loyalty, and then we have to bolt plus hit, which basically makes it a 1-for-1 and a fog. Is that worth countering? Probably, but then we can't deal with any Kalidases or anything of that sort, but they're probably playing those pretty soon, I imagine before the Lilianas of the world, so I think I just want to Mana Leak that. There is the fact that they could draw into things that Mana Leak should be dealing with, but if we're spending our time taking care of Lilianas, then we aren't attacking their face. Which means that they get more time to draw those things that Mana Leak should be dealing with. So it's a bit of a trade-off. I think we want to go with that, and that's something I really would have wanted Mana Leak for. We're not going to be able to burn that. Okay. Okay. Burn to the face. Misty, okay. Misty is not bad. They can't really attack us until they have something else, so that's good. Do I want to do anything with Misty and EE? We don't have a 4th color, so we're not EEing this Obliterator, which means we need either Vapor Snag, Simic Charm, or Dismember to take care of it, which is probably going to be difficult. I don't think I want to play the EE, so we're just going to pass the turn. Probably end step Tarfire, turns on Delirium, which is nice. Okay. Yeah. Tarfire them. Put them to 6. Fetch. Do we have Bolt, Snap, Bolt? Obviously not right now because we can't draw Bolt, Land, and Snapcaster Mage all at once. I'm just going to get a Stomping Ground because there's no reason not to have ideal colors. Okay, we're going to play Hooting Mandrills, and it's going to be great. We also want to keep Delirium in mind, so I believe I want to tap out here, exile a couple of instants, and then we can afford to get rid of one card type. I think it's going to be creature. I want to try keeping Lightning Bolt in addition to the Tarfire, because it's slightly better to flashback via Snapcaster Mage. Having a second threat here is very relevant because we might be able to just swing both Mandrills at them and burn them out. The burning, of course, has to be done before damage occurs, or at least before we let this trigger resolve, because then we probably won't have lands. Forest. Not particularly helpful. So now we're waiting on Traverse, Snapcaster Mage, Lightning Bolt. I believe those are the only burn spells left in the deck. We took out Forked Bolt and we already exiled Pillar of Flame. Our opponent's not doing anything. Scalding Tarn, do we want to play that? We don't need it immediately, but we might end up needing it. The thing is, if we go down to 15, Obliterator becomes a 3-turn clock, so we don't necessarily want to play it right away, because we probably aren't fetching it right away. So I think I'm just going to wait. Let's take a quick look at the exile pile. 2 Lightning Bolts and a Pillar, which means there is 1 bolt left in the deck as far as burn goes, but there are also 2 snaps and 2 traverses, all of which are live. Delver is fantastic. Very, very fantastic, and gives us a good reason to play this Tarn, because Delver Scry. On the flip side, they almost certainly have a Fatal Push, since they probably run a bunch of them. Oh hey, Fatal Push. And we hadn't played a pushable threat yet, so I was pretty sure they'd have at least one waiting very patiently. Aetherborn's fine. We can EE it, so that's not a concern. Do I want to play, or do I want to crack the Tarn? If we do end up EEing Aetherborn, we probably do want the EE down soon, and I will want 5 mana, probably. So let's do it. Yes, let that resolve. We're also getting pretty short on time, so I think I'm going to want to hustle. Let's get a Steam Vent. Unfortunately, that means less time for decision making. But between my propensity to not shut up, yeah, we'll just cast it. That's fine. 2, I'm going to tap lands that couldn't possibly screw this up. End step. Yup, and we're going to be okay. Probably. We will probably be okay. Leechwit-ridden Swamp. Oh, they're playing the Long Con. So yeah, between my propensity to never shut up, Xmage being slightly laggy, and we're not going to block, we will blow that up though. Oh, the skip continued to go. That's pretty not cool. We're going to end up snap bolting them now. Oh, we're still okay though. We're still okay because we'll have Snapcaster Mage if they don't have any threats. Phyrexian Arena isn't a threat. They draw a card and lose a life. I'm okay with that. That sounds excellent for me. Now we'll Snap Bolt. Not stopping the skip soon enough could have been a very significant issue. It actually still might. Okay, they scooped to Snapcaster Mage. Fantastic. The goal there being Snap Bolt you, knock them down to 5, and then Mandrills, Snapcaster attack. They block 1 Mandrills, they take 6, go to -1, we win the game. I like this configuration, so we're going to submit. Good to know that we don't have that Vapor Snag, though. As you can see, Xmage is definitely lagging right now. Nope, we're back. Okay. I was going to say I might need to open another client. This hand looks fantastic. I'm gonna keep. Which makes me quite happy. I like when we can keep our 7. So, we can Visions, Traverse, or Hold Up Counter Magic. I want to say it's Hold Up Counter Magic, so I'm just going to go turn pass. That way we can easily deal with any Aetherborn they play. No Aetherborn, that's fine. Fetch a land tapped. Let's get Steam Vent's Breeding Pool Forest, probably. Wooded Foothills is fine. I'm going to... Oh, I guess that's kind of awkward. Visions, and then have the Foothills. Do I want to fetch Shock now? No. I'll only crack the Foothills if we need it. Oh, that's a pretty nice lineup too, though. I want the Delver. Of course, we are drawing really well, though, so we might not need the Delver on top. I don't think I want the second Huntmaster while I still have this hand. This hand looks very good. Geralf's Messenger, that's fine. I'm not interacting with it. I will lose 2 life. Do I want to draw a Delver here? If I do, I can get 2 basics and go Goyf plus Delver. That seems like something I'd want to do. They're splashing red for something. I don't know what it is. It's a little disconcerting that I don't know that. I should probably read up on my Monoblack devotion. I haven't seen any Bloodghasts, though, and I'm pretty sure they run those. Oh, that's what the fetch lands are for. Bloodghast. And this very mysterious red splash. Our hand is pretty stacked, so I'm not super scared of this Thoughtseize. But their hand very well may be pretty good, too. So I should at least be wary. Enters tapped. When it enters, lose 2 life and Undying. Sure. I wanted to make sure I knew what the text on Geralf's Messenger was. Make sure it doesn't have something funky like Menace. They're taking their time on this Thoughtseize. They took Mandrills. Fantastic. I like when they take something that makes it easy to leave the Thoughtseize window up. Here's a push on Goyf, on Delver, and a push on Goyf. Okay. So that doesn't count. Well, they managed to deal with 3 threats in one fell swoop. Land off the top means Huntmaster's about to come down, though. And I think our life total is under enough stress that I don't really want to shock here. Of course, Huntmaster's going to help with that life total issue a lot. So maybe I do. And Delirium's pretty close to being on. Do I want the second green and red source? I should. I really should just do it. Naturally, I'd like my life total to be as high as possible, but I'm pretty sure the right decision is to just suck it up and get the Stomping Ground. They know our entire hand still. We either take 2 off it coming back, or we take 3 off it hitting. The flip side to blocking this is they could have a fatal push, and that would really suck. But we're going to do it anyways. Select blockers. Okay, Xmage, you're making it very difficult to find out if we've blocked, which is pretty irritating when we're low on time, and I don't want to waste time in that step. Is it a revolted fatal push? It's a Gatekeeper of Malakir. Just as good, if not better. That creature. Scalding Tarn, we still need a way to put an instant in the graveyard to turn on Delirium. Unfortunately, they have a pretty fast clock, so we might just lose. I don't think we could have afforded to wait until we had a 5th land to play Huntmaster so that we had Spell Snare up. So I'm not very upset about them getting that off, the Malakir play. I don't think they bother with any instants knowing what our hand is. They could probably see that we would very much like to get one of these counters out, get a land off of the Tarn, and then traverse Huntmaster. So I don't think they're going to play anything we can counter. Grey Merchant. That'll do. That is going to be game. We just need that to resolve. The ETB on Grey Merchant I'm sure many of you are aware of, but it basically drains each opponent for X life, where X is your devotion to black. We're gonna scoop so we don't have to deal with Xmage, probably. Oh no, they got it. There we go. It came through. Fantastic. We're going to lose 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 life, and they will gain 7. And that'll do. That will do. So that was a pretty fun match. We made some good decisions. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed that video, and I hope to see you in the next one.